Evening. Welcome back to the engine room. Tonight, the machine the pilot only waved at, the electricity grid, and the impossible thing it does every second of every day. Here is the impossible thing. Electricity, at national scale, cannot really be stored. What you generate this instant is consumed this instant, everywhere at once. So supply and demand must match almost exactly, not by the hour, not by the minute, but continuously. Get it wrong and the lights do not dim politely, they fall over. The whole country runs on a wire walked in real time, and tonight we are going to watch the walkers work. How does a control room know, second by second, whether supply matches demand? It listens to a single number, the frequency. Across Britain the grid runs at 50 Hz, the mains humming 50 times a second. That number is a scoreboard. When demand outruns supply, the generators are dragged slightly slower and the frequency sags below 50. When there is too much power, it climbs. The statutory range is 1% either side, 49.5 to 50.5. In practice they hold it far tighter, within 0.2 of a hertz. So frequency is not a detail. It is the pulse of the nation's balance. Read continuously, in one clean number. Now the famous wobble. It is called TV pickup, and it is gloriously British. At halftime in a big match a nation stands as one and boils the kettle, and demand spikes in seconds. The record came on the 4th of July, 1990. The England against West Germany World Cup semi-final ended on penalties, and the grid took a 2,800 megawatt jump, well over a million kettles at once. A routine ad break is milder, 2 to 400 megawatts. The point is the control room saw it coming. They watch the schedules, they know the nation's habits, and they pre-position power for the surge before a single kettle has clicked. So where does that power come from? At second's notice? Some of it from a mountain in Snowdonia. De Norwood, nicknamed the Electric Mountain, is a pumped storage station. At night it uses cheap surplus power to pump water uphill into a high reservoir. At the crucial moment it drops that water back down through turbines. Standing ready, it can go from nothing to 1,320 megawatts in about 12 seconds, the fastest response of any pumped storage plant in the world. That is the answer to storing the electricity you were told could not be stored. You do not store the electricity. You store the water, and the height it can fall from. But 12 seconds is an age when a large power station trips off without warning. So the first line of defense is not a decision at all. It is physics. Every big turbine spinning on the grid is a heavy flywheel, and all that rotating mass resists sudden change. That inertia buys a few precious seconds by slowing how fast the frequency can fall. Then the fast services take over. Since 2020, a scheme called dynamic containment reacts to a frequency wobble within half a second. Batteries and generators nudging their output up or down automatically. Inertia catches the stumble. The half-second response steadies it, and the mountain backs them both up, layer upon layer, all invisible. So here is the whole machine. A number, 50 Hz. That is really the nation's balance made audible. A control room, now called NISO, watching it against the football schedule. Inertia, a fast response and a mountain full of water, all poised to catch a stumble you will never notice. It is a tightrope with a whole country on it, walked continuously, every second, for decades. And the measure of how well it is done is that you have never once thought about it. That is the craft, and it is the most quietly heroic engineering you own a share of. This has been the engine room. Mind the moving parts.